Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Gillcast, the 1 week of the year. We do it live. It's Cash Game Week. It's a national holiday here on the program. I'm Davis Maddock, of course, joined by Sammy Reed and Nate Noling. But as always, in the final regular season week of the year, the Cash Game King, Peter Overzet. You're here, bud. Hear ye, hear ye.
Yeah, I mean, maybe gonna have to do a second run of these hoodies that say Cash Game Peasant on it after this week. But it's really about the friends you make along the way, right?
Well, and as you know, you can't lose more than 50%. So as long as you keep martingaling your entries, then we'll be good. You just got to play. You got to play Showdown Cash for Chargers Raiders tonight. 2 kickers, 2 defenses, and Peyton Barber and Justin Jackson. Get it done, no problem.
What would it be? How many people you think are galbraying the full kneel down lineup tonight? I'm
not gonna lie. I just went and opened up the $33 single entry, and I was like, "Do I hate myself enough to go 2 kickers, 2 defenses, and the backup quarterbacks just to do it?" Because if you think about it, obviously the margins would be the quarterbacks would get negative rushing yards, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have to play guys who literally would get 0 to have, because the nut lineup for the kneel down game would be just the 2 defenses. But I didn't end up doing it. It's probably marginally plus EV to put that lineup in the $100,000 to first contest or whatever, though.
Coward.
It'd be like a 3,000 way dupe if that hits.
I mean, yeah. So guys, we're here. The Gillcast did take down the Tilt Space, which everyone, if you have not listened to that yet, you can go back and recap that.
What a sweat!
It got sweaty for a little bit until Cooper Kupp. If Cooper Kupp not gone full Cooper Kupp, we would have been up like 8 points going into overtime, and that would have not been very fun.
The thing about Cooper Kupp, though, is that he always goes Cooper Kupp. Like, he failed in like 0 games this entire season. He's so good.
Yeah. No. All right. So let's open up the 4-man the whirling dervish. He laid Sammy. You laid the pipe down. You played Taysom Hill, David Montgomery, Donta Foreman, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Marvin Jones, Tyler Kroft, Patrick Taylor, which was just the team that we played in the contest against.
That's right. So not only did I win us $1,000, but also you guys all tasted my ass in a week. It's just so good. Like, this is amazing. I'm so glad we're finishing things up like this.
Yeah. And then Nate, you are going to finish second. You played Huntley instead of Taysom, which did not end up mattering.
Fish.
Montgomery, Foreman, Taylor, Kupp, Jefferson, Allen Robinson instead of Marvin Jones. Cole Kmet instead of Tyler Kroft, so anonymous, I forgot his name, in the Browns defense. He did. I played Huntley. So what I did is I got to remember what I swapped off. So I played Huntley, Jonathan Taylor, Patrick Taylor, Cooper Kupp, Christian Kirk, Allen Robinson, Cole Kmet, and Keyshawn Vaughn, which I then swapped in the Browns defense. And Pete, you played, which is interesting because this year we didn't do any strategy talk. You weren't in the group chat, so I didn't know what you were going to flip over. You played Taysom Hill, Jonathan Taylor, David Montgomery, Cooper Kupp, Cyril Grayson, Marvin Jones, Brevin Jordan, Patrick Taylor in the Browns defense. So what I'm curious about,
you did play Marvin Jones Jr.
I did.
So what I'm curious about is the lineup construction convo with the Tilt Space and why you felt strong enough to place a different lineup.
Yeah, so obviously the big difference, and you guys were on Jefferson with your lineup. Leone was big on Jefferson. I really just wanted to get to Taylor and Kupp.
Yep,
that was kind
same.
of, yeah. So
those are my want plays, sort of.
Yeah. The thing was, I think I was going to get off of it before Patrick Taylor opened up, because I was going to have to play like ESB or, Zylstra, but that was going to be a gamble with the 4 p.m. stuff. So I think I was going to get off of it. And then the Taylor stuff opened up and I realized I could do it without a true punt wide receiver. Obviously Grayson ended up being like, he should have been priced at 1K instead of 4,400. So that backfired. But like, ultimately I was happy with how this lineup clicked together. Leone was keeping me from getting off of Montgomery because I was like, I just don't like David Montgomery. I didn't want to play him. And then everyone just kept telling me how good of a play. So I was like, fine. So once I could get all these pieces to work and get Kupp and Hill and Taylor and Montgomery, I was like, fuck it, let's just roll.
I mean, that is generally that is how it goes for me most Sunday mornings. Well, it was because if anyone listened to the show that we were doing this morning, it was sort of stressful because I'm like trying to make my team at the same time that I'm making this team with these two guys. And I mean, obviously, in the Rams just lost to the 49ers.
Did they?
Stafford threw an interception
Dude, that's awesome. I live in 49ers country, so my friends are pumped.
They were trying to get my lineup there. They were trying to give Odell Beckham a touchdown to make sure that my lineup got across the finish line.
Never gonna happen.
It didn't quite get there. So obviously the thing that we did correctly in hindsight in the tilt space lineup was playing Justin Jefferson instead of Jonathan Taylor, which really, I mean, what the fuck, Indianapolis? How do you lose?
Like, first off, this is an all-time chokeopotamus moment for the Colts and Carson Wentz. Like, Carson Wentz should get cut. Like, it was so bad. But I have to give credit to Nate Noling because he was the one that was on this lineup construction. Nate, you were the one that really got us. It wasn't something I was really considering, is getting Jefferson and Kupp in this.
I didn't consider it for a second.
I thought Kirk was like such a good play that it was like, oh yeah, we just lock him into the wide receiver 2 and we build around that. What kind of got you there? Because that's what really made the difference for us in the 1K, and then ended up making the difference for me in cash also.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it starts with, obviously I love Jefferson in a vacuum, and I think the reasons why we talked about on the pre-lock show, but the running back value this week, I felt so good about that. It was really the 2v2s that put me on the Jefferson side of things, because I felt really, really good about Foreman and about Montgomery and their workload. And I just thought getting up to Taylor and sacrificing Montgomery or Foreman was not worth whatever receiver I was going to put in at that point, and getting off of Jefferson. And I think obviously the Foreman and Montgomery thing didn't like smash the Taylor's players like where they should have, in my opinion. Like Montgomery and Foreman
ran so bad, bro. Like so bad.
I mean, these guys, the volume they had, this should have been 20 plus for both of them. So it didn't really work out, but ultimately my theory was just, the thesis of the play was just the running back value was so strong. Like, you can play Jefferson, you can play Kupp and fade Taylor and be okay. So yeah, the Patrick Taylor thing really was the key to getting us both Kupp and Jefferson. Cause I don't think I built that team.
There was no way to do it without Patrick Taylor or a $3,000 wide receiver. The Equinemius St. Brown play, which never materialized.
How insane is it in week 18 in the crazy COVID year of our Lord that we couldn't get like one 3K wide receiver who projected decently?
It's awful. It's like we couldn't get Isaiah McKenzie even for 4.6 targets. Like, there was just nothing. It was, I mean, I was looking at all sorts of guys. Like, I was trying to talk myself into 1 point, Brandon Zylstra opening up the entire slate. It's like, well, he did play 71% of the snaps the week before he went on the COVID list. And their other guy, Shai Smith, was on the COVID list. So I was like, oh, Zylstra, baby. Robbie Anderson's not going to play. That was the other thing that was pressing me, because we had two potential late things, one of which would have been because James Conner was coming into this game with a heel injury. And I was pretty convinced that if James Conner didn't play, that Benjamin was like the stone cold smash. I wonder, did another running back even get a touch in this game?
I mean, Eno would have been
7 carries. Yeah. So Eno would have been the guy.
He would have been the better version of the Taylor play, because he would have played the whole fucking game.
Yeah. I mean, we don't talk about GPPs on this show. This is cash game week, but If there were bros who ran Patrick Taylor really heavy, they got trucked today. What can you do?
Well, I mean, no running back really damaged you.
Yeah, I wasn't considering Patrick Taylor before we got on the show this morning. So
I know you got lucky, dude.
I mean, I did. But then I just run good. You know what I mean? It's all good. But like I also ran like super bad today because like Foreman ran super bad to not get there. Marvin Jones was just short of the bonus, and Taysom Hill was on his way to a smash. Like Taysom Hill was going to get it.
Yeah, Liz Frank injury for Taysom Hill. So does that mean Trevor Siemian is starting a playoff game? Is that where we're at?
No, the Niners won.
Because the 49ers won. Okay, well, thank God.
Yeah, no, it's but like Nate and I, or Davis and I, stand pretty hard against Nate that
Taysom was better than Huntley.
Taysom was better than Huntley. I feel pretty justified in that.
He was awful, dude. Huntley, like, look, I like Huntley, and I think he can. I don't know, like some team should trade like a 4th round pick for him or whatever. But he was awful, and this was just like the classic. Like, obviously, this game was going to be disgusting between the Ravens and the Steelers.
But that's exactly like what set up well for Huntley and his skill set. Like this is
the running.
The pocket was going to fall apart, and he would have to run. And he didn't get the bonus. He didn't get the 100 yards, but he was close. And it was those plays where the pocket falls apart and there's.
But you gotta add 2 touchdowns in there, and I didn't know if there were 2 touchdowns available, and
there were not. And you also have to understand that TJ Watt is going after the all-time record.
I cannot abide by this.
You had to be worried that TJ Watt was going to wreck his day.
Pete, we realized after lock that part of Sammy's anti-Huntley bias was like fed into this narrative that the Steelers were like really juiced up today because one of their players was going for a sack record.
For a sack record. A 22 and a half. It was a half sack record. It was a 22 and a half. Sammy had this take that we had no idea. I wish he would have said it because it would have made me feel even more confident.
You know what? My biggest regret about the Tilt Space Gillcast head-to-head beef was that I didn't hang out in the Gillcast group chat all week.
Yeah, you didn't really get the full experience.
It's also because I used to have my iMessages on my iMac, and so then I could just converse with you guys, but then I switched to a PC, so now I only have that iMessage group chat on my laptop, and I never check it anymore, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm probably missing out on hot Gillcast conversation this week.
I think if we release the transcripts of the group chat, we could sell it for money. Like people would pay like $4.99 for it.
Honestly, though, if it wasn't for the Taylor thing, we would have been screwed today. I did not feel good about any of our builds up until I got the cut.
Well, we would have had Christian Kirk, I think, who sucked.
Yeah.
And
I probably would have had Kyler.
No, dude, I think we would have played Tyler Kroft. I seriously think when we would have got on the Zoom call, I think we would have been like, let's play Tyler Kroft and let's play Keyshawn Vaughn, and we probably would have played Jonathan Taylor.
I was not playing Keyshawn Vaughn.
I wasn't playing Vaughn either.
You guys are fish, bro.
You're a fish.
I maybe would have played Michelle. I mean, or Connor. I don't know. I would not have played Vaughn. Vaughn was like the maybe 5th or 6th running back for me.
It was really hard to parse out all the 6K running backs. Michelle, Singletary, Connor, Foreman. I guess Demont was like a step above that, but like I thought it was pretty hard to figure out which of those guys we were going to play.
All right, take us into the lab, Pete. What was the Tilt Space lineup construction?
Yeah, we need to know.
We need to know because we didn't get to see behind the curtain.
Yeah, so I mean, I basically knew I was going to be playing JT in mine, and so then when Leone was pounding the table for Jefferson, I was like, and I got the thesis of it. It made complete sense with the value at running back. I mean, you can't go into a cash game week and not just play the best plays. I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Well, it is, but you're also supposed to play the most value. You know what I mean? You got to understand the landscape of the slate. You got to feel out where the pockets of value are. And
trust me, Sammy, I had sorted for value on like 16 different sites, and it was just Cyril Grayson, Cyril Grayson, Cyril Grayson. It is ironic too that I had exposure to like 6 or 7 running backs across, or 5 or 6 running backs across my 2 head-to-heads there, and it was the ones that I didn't play. I mean, like Foreman should have been a smash, Singletary smash, Gibson smash. I stared at Singletary and Gibson in the blitz optimal all week, and I was like, I think I'm good, dog.
I didn't want to play Singletary. His last touchdown is what ended up giving me the blade. Despite having this is one of the better swaps I've ever done because I realized I was behind with Huntley, and
you only played Huntley so you could swap later. I think subconsciously.
No, I only played Huntley because I couldn't find a cheaper wide receiver than Allen Robinson, where I should have just played Keelan Cole, who was in the shell this morning. Keelan Cole was in the shell this morning.
Keelan Cole got there was so frustrating. Davis, you didn't realize you were behind. You start from a mental state of being behind. You build planning on losing.
Yeah, mentally weak. Mental weakness.
You got to be like me and Sammy and go into these afternoon games and go
not having a clue what's going on.
We've already played the best place.
So I swapped Kupp, Kirk, and Keyshawn Vaughn to Tyler Lockett, Odell Beckham, and Alvin Kamara. And buddy, it was so close. Odell catches a pass on the Rams' first play from scrimmage. And I'm just like, buddy, I'm rich. Tyler Lockett, 43-yard touchdown, rich. Alvin Kamara has 60 yards rushing at the end of the first quarter. And I'm just like, I'm counting this Glansky bucks. And Lockett did score again, but didn't get the bonus. Kamara got the rushing bonus, but never scored a touchdown. Like it was so close to being to the Tyreek Hill swap that I made in week 1. That because obviously it was the best swap I've ever made in my life. But
how many points did he put up that week?
Dragon ever since. He's just like, I gotta have a swap. Like the dopamine that's going through Davis.
Honestly, Davis, you would have been more profitable if you would have lost week 1. And those swaps, and you wouldn't have chased
I don't think that's true. I don't think I had any swap this year where if I would have stayed, I would have kept the smash. I think it was.
I don't think it's true either. Like I definitely think that Davis was the king of swaps this year.
Nate, I just took mine out to the trash this morning.
It's mentally weak because I have to find a place to throw it out. Like you can't just take it down into the dumpster. You have to recycle
Do you live in apartments?
Yeah.
Oh, tough.
And we realized this morning that we can't just or a couple days ago that we can't
out here in suburbia, they just come and pick it up for you.
Yeah, you just put it out on Tuesday morning or whatever. They come get it. I was out in my backyard axing mine,
Yeah,
an axe it in a half, but
if you think I own an axe, you are sorely mistaken.
Dude, I own an axe. What you gonna do? No. Yeah, and axed it and then saw the rest. Anyway,
Nate, you live in the Great White North, and Sammy is from liberal California, and he's outworking you, bro.
Here. I have an axe. You don't. It's wild.
Pete, is your Christmas tree still up?
It actually is. Yeah. I always put it up late. I think it was a year or two ago. We just forgot to put it up and then just didn't put it up. So now you got to milk it. I think you get it through January. It's still cold out. It's snowing. The ambiance is there. I'm on Team Nate with this Christmas tree stuff.
Dude, it's like -20 out. It's still cold.
Where do you live, Nate?
Minnesota.
Okay.
Nate, do you have an HOA or a property management group that takes care of these trees for you?
I gotta email them and see what we're supposed to do. I don't know.
Nate's got to retie it on the back, on the top of his car, and drive it back to where he bought it from.
First year getting a real tree. I don't know what we're gonna do.
So Pete, who was in the driver's seat for the tilt space? Who was saying this is what we're playing?
Leo.
Well, how much did Holka care? Holka
cared. Yeah, he cared.
No. I don't believe that. I think Holka just smashes GPPs.
Yeah. Holka's just here. He was just along for the ride. Yeah.
No, Holka cared, and the main thing was really just debating. I really wanted to. I had floated getting off of Montgomery for Foreman, just because I was I don't want to pay $6,800 for David Montgomery. And Leone, I said, am I a fish for not wanting to play Montgomery?
We had the same conversation. Yes. I didn't want to play David Montgomery either.
It seems like you and me were in lockstep this week, Davis, and that was not the right side of history.
Well, I was not going to play Cyril Grayson, who is not a football player. I mean, he's a track star.
Well, here's the other thing too, and this honestly probably was my biggest leak because we had two of our tilt space head-to-heads, so we were talking through the swaps and stuff. And I ended up I swapped one of my $100 head-to-heads, like from the Taysom Cyril Cup to it fit perfect for Kyler, Kirk, and Metcalf. And I probably should have done that on more of them. Did you end up, you global swapped, right? On all your shit?
Yes. Yeah. Because I thought
dead,
so,
Davis.
It's hard to say because probably against Huntley teams I wasn't, but was I going to go through like 200 head-to-heads and go individually identify which guys had Huntley and which didn't?
Davis, you were dead.
Yeah,
no,
dude.
No.
Your team was
no. That is not accurate. It was such a low-scoring slate. Like
you were like 25 points below the cash line at the afternoon lock.
No, I wasn't. No, I was not. That is not true because I played. Because
you didn't play Marvin Jones.
Patrick Taylor.
You played Jonathan Taylor.
Patrick Taylor
played Jefferson.
19% owned though, and he scored more points than David Montgomery, who I didn't play. He scored more points than Foreman, who I didn't play, and there was another early running back bust who I didn't play. And so Patrick Taylor outscored all these busts, which is why
you didn't play Jefferson or David Montgomery.
No, Davis, you were like 20 points below the cash line at the lock. You were dead.
That is not true, but I was definitely behind. And so I knew that I needed to swap. And maybe the smarter thing would have been to have like maybe even a different swap against Huntley teams, like Debo over Cup or whatever against Huntley teams. But I wasn't doing all that. I just global swap. Peter?
What did you ask? I pulled a Davis and got distracted.
I thought you were like I thought you were starstruck getting to see the bickering between the
yes,
three of us.
No. I mean, the only thing I get to hold over you for being a fish was not playing Marvin Jones. That's the only one up I got on you.
And honestly,
Sammy, I have to ask seriously, did you get on Marvin Jones because of Marvin Jones, or was it you didn't want
incentive.
3 bears?
No, it was the incentive. Guarantee
it
was the
I
incentive.
think it was Sammy hates
He was a
playing.
lock for 4 catches, right, Sammy?
Stone lock. Stone motherfucking lock. Like, look, it was a little bit of both, right? It was that I didn't want to play Allen Robinson because all of a sudden, and Kmet, because then all of a sudden you have 3 bears in a lineup headed by Andy Dalton. And it's like, no, that's a way to burn your money on fire. And so it's like, okay, well, who else is in that range? Well, it's Marvin Jones Jr., who's the guy, right?
And that was it. There was no one else playable. There was like Donovan Peoples-Jones, and that was it.
Right. And he's got the incentive. Like, it just made too much sense. And the fact that you guys didn't see this is just like, man, how'd you not get there? Like, we decided on it. We figured it out 2 minutes before lock in the 1K.
Yeah.
And
no,
that's
you are 100% correct. Because Andy Dalton threw 50 times today, and Allen Robinson had 2 catches for 20 yards.
Like, he's dust. Whatever happened, it's over. It's like he drank from the wrong Holy Grail or whatever, but he's like an 85-year-old man out there now. It's over. Like, whatever.
The list of guys who were more involved on offense today than Allen Robinson is like really impressive. Like,
I don't even want to pull the air yards data. I'm so like, I'm so good. I haven't even run the script. I normally run a script.
You cannot eat on Whopper. You know this.
He's a Whopper Junior now. It's not the number 1 Whopper on the menu anymore.
So Pete, you didn't even play an entry in the SPY?
No, legit. Only
legit
cash.
Just cash game week?
Legit only. I mean, I guess if I played it every week, I would do the thing too. But I spent like and you guys did your call and stuff too. Like, how would you have had time to 1, make your own cash game lineup, 2, make your Gillcast group cash game lineup, and build good GPP teams? And that's me every week, just with tournament teams, trying to build 3 lineups, 4 lineups with those guys and build my own all after inactives. It's fucking stressful.
Well, it's really easy, Pete. You just don't make good tournament lineups. That's how I do it, right? Not a problem.
That's kind of how we all do it.
Yeah,
none of us have.
Hey, no, do not lump me in. I was very close to binking the red zone twice this year.
Yeah, just a couple of 3v3s away, and Davis was there.
No, I was like the 1 week. It was just Leonard Fournette's fat ass not being able to catch a touchdown that was in his hands away from the bonk. I played. Would you be intrigued to know that in the 100K to first spy, Josh Allen was 5% owned this week?
Seriously? What was the winning tournament lineup? Like I don't even know what was.
Let's go see, because I have no idea.
It was wild. The lineups that won, I looked briefly, and it was like different QBs in each of the top 10 teams. There wasn't one team.
This is the lineup that won the 100K to first spy.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, single stacked with Gronk, no bring back. Devin Singletary, Antonio Gibson at running back, Tyler Lockett, Darnell Mooney, Marvin Jones, AJ Green, Dolphins defense. What
did AJ Green finish with?
6 points. Just didn't matter. Yeah.
The thesis of the play was what it got you to.
Yeah.
It was one of those weeks. I mean, was Danny Amendola in the Millie Maker winner, or was he literally not even played enough to matter? That's a good. I'll go look at it right now. What do we think? Do we think that Danny
I bet
Amendola
he was sub 1% in the Millie?
Danny Amendola was not in the Millie Maker winning lineup. 217 won the Millie Maker this week.
That has to be like the lowest on the year.
And the play that did it was a 0.2% owned 2-touchdown game from Juwan Jennings as the Rams bring back. It was a Stafford double. Obviously, the season was going to end with Cooper Kupp winning someone $1 million. Like there was no way that wasn't happening.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the fantasy playoff MVPs, and I guess it doesn't really extend to week 18, but what Rashad Penny and Amon-Ra St. Brown did over these past 3 weeks was just absolutely insane.
I didn't play Amon-Ra St. Brown one time
either. Will they have equal ADPs next year, like middle of the 5th round?
Well, Penny's a free agent, right? So
they're throwing the bag at him though.
Penny's going in the top 3 rounds next year.
Carroll is going to give some of his salary to
Penny.
Carroll might not have a salary next year.
Penny's going where Najee Harris just went.
Oh my god!
I'm just Cam Akers.
No.
Cam Akers had 600 yards. Cam Akers had 600 yards and 4 touchdowns a year ago, and he was a first-round pick.
I mean, people were slobbering over Chris Carson, and he still settled in the 4th.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
And Chris Carson is bad. Chris Carson has never had a run in his life like Rashad Penny just had.
Yeah, Penny's going to go high. No, you're right. He'll go into the 3rd round in high-stakes leagues.
So Pete, as a cash game grinder, the last half hour before lock, how much of your research this week played into the last
got thrown out the window? Yeah.
Well, I'll show you. I could tell too. There's a misconception because on Tuesday I did say Samaje Perine was the free square. A lot of people found that tweet and were replying to it, not understanding that I meant free play for my shell on Tuesday.
For the shell. He was 10% owned in double ups.
Really?
You moved the needle, Pete.
Dude,
and people were bad.
I will open up the massive $50 double up right now, and I will tell you guys just how owned he was.
No, holy shit, that can't be true.
But honestly,
go ahead, Pete.
There were like no joke. The plays I knew were just locked in. I was like, I know I'm going to play Taysom, and I knew I was going to play Browns D, and then I knew I was going to play Cooper Kupp. Like those were the 3 I knew for sure for most of the week. And then everything else, I was like, give me something at inactives. Just like give me something.
I felt the same way the whole week too.
Did you consider Huntley at all?
I did, but Cardi got me excited about the dome boner. Then Kevin Roth was, sending me stuff about the wind in Pittsburgh. And it just seemed like it wasn't worth the necessary risk there if they were close, just like break ties in favor of the dome there. So I felt pretty comfortable then just locking in Taysom. I had said with Leone when we were building, like if that, what was it, $400 difference, if that really was needed, 500, that I would be fine coming off of it. But I really wanted Taysom.
Yeah, I felt the exact same way.
Samaje Perine in the massive $25 double up was 9 0.7% owned, more than Keyshawn Vaughn, more than Antonio Gibson, more than Sony Michel, more than Alvin Kamara, more than Rashad Penny.
Buddy, there is still an edge. Pete, you got to get in these cash game streets, man.
The rake got paid, one by me, and then by everyone else who played so much P-Ryan.
Well, the thing is everyone, what was it last year? Was it week 16 or week 17 when Mixon sat and Samaje just smashed?
Yeah. And Gio still got work, or not Travion Williams. Yeah.
It was Evans who had, or no, you're right. Gio had a good game last year.
They both smashed, and P-Ryan was, but I said that on the Swolecast. I said P-Ryan's like part of their team. They don't want to use him in this game.
That's how I thought the Packers would feel about AJ Dillon, but no.
Yeah. AJ Dillon getting carries when Jordan Love was in was extremely tilting.
So
yeah, we ran good with Patrick Taylor, buddy. We got to throw that one out there.
I want to ask Nate and Sammy a question. I want to talk about the Donta Foreman play. He's a guy I've really enjoyed playing in tournaments this year. I like him a lot. When my cash brain kicked in, I was like, matchup's good. The touches are good. Team needs to win. They're motivated. But like, what if he gets game scripted out? Is he going to catch passes? Is he just going to be dust in that area? And so I got ultimately a little spooked on it. What gave you the conviction to use Foreman, even though he wasn't going to project for much pass work?
Honestly, it was the McNichols cut.
Yeah.
Like that made me feel really confident because, they'd been using McNichols some, and he'd been getting work. And all of a sudden it was like, okay, I realize in any spot you have the risk of getting game scripted out, right? Favorites lose, especially like division on the road. But at the end of the day, like Tennessee is an extremely well-coached team. I thought they were going to come in and they were going to bring it and they would be ahead most of the game. And, Foreman has just really been a beast. And I just, I felt good that he'd get 20 carries in this game. So.
And he did.
Yeah, same. I actually thought Hilliard worked in more than I expected. Like looking back on it, I probably was overconfident at lock from what I should have been. Like, I don't think the McNichols thing actually moved the needle as much as I thought it did. Like looking back, I was probably overconfident in Foreman because Hilliard still had plenty of, I didn't pull the data, but Hilliard was
Hilliard got worked in more than Le'Veon Bell, who you guys were so fucking worried about with Keyshawn Vaughn.
Le'Veon Bell got into a touchdown, bro.
He got 4 touches.
How many did Keyshawn Vaughn get?
14.
I wasn't playing Keyshawn Vaughn here.
Yeah. I mean, and I will say when we started sweating earlier and watching Donta Foreman, I thought it was going to be the quickest coffin ever. I mean, Donta Foreman could have had 30.
He
literally walked into the end zone. He literally walked into the freaking end zone. And because of defensive lineman who's in there blocking, I was so tilted. I literally cut away from red zone because I saw the touchdown. I was like, oh, he walked in. And Sammy said, called back.
The absolute, like looking at his point total, you hit the absolute worst possible outcome if you run that game like that.
Same with DeMont, though. I mean, DeMont literally had 20. DeMont literally had 20 rushing.
Losers stay losers. Losers stay losers. David Montgomery gets 25 touches and 9 points all the time. It's what he does.
When you're running projections, you basically just have to bump his efficiency down to like 2.4 per carry.
I already have that. I already have DeMont projected for like 2.4 yards per carry, and he still averages out. Anything with DeMont is just like if he gets 5 yards on a run, like that's just cherry on top. He already is going to hit value based on the volume.
This David Montgomery game log stuff is like the reverse of Rashad Penny. It's like he's going on this run of like all this work. He's got 20 carries for 72 yards, 22 carries for 64 yards, 21 for 45, 18 for 60, 21 for 90. His last 100-yard game came in week 4. I mean,
he's so fat and slow.
Dude, do you know what's so tilting, David? Like we go all summer just fade the shit out of David Montgomery in season long in high stakes.
And then immediately.
No. And then DFS rolls around and I just fucking fade him as chalk every single week. Fade. Then week 18 rolls around. It's finally my turn to get in on some of this David Montgomery goodness. And then he fucking does what I know what he is. David Montgomery is who we thought he was. He's a fucking 9.9 dust ball snowflake in my lineup.
And these dust ball snowflakes, I caught on to the David Montgomery is a workhorse trend before Nate did, and I played him against I don't know, someone terrible. I think Baltimore. I played him against.
You played him again over somebody good.
Yeah, Davis, that was.
I'm sure I did.
Sometimes
I'm sure you guys are wrong.
Sometimes it's a little more of a field game, Davis.
My boy's right. It's a little bit more of an art, buddy.
Well, I wish. Also, I just another thing in retrospect. Isn't it weird that we were all rushing in to jam Jonathan Taylor when Alvin Kamara was right there with Mark Ingram probably not playing for $1,000 cheaper? Is that something that we should have considered before it was late swap time?
Is this Davis setting himself for his own victory lap chair?
No, it didn't even work. It didn't even work.
Isn't it something we all should have been considering, but only one of us did?
No, I didn't consider him at all. I didn't consider him all pre-lock. I played Jonathan Taylor, who sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Davis hit enlightenment after lock. It wasn't before.
I literally did not consider for Alvin Kamara for a second until Jonathan Taylor had already submarined me.
The thing is, in the 2021 season, the players of the season, obviously Amon-Ra and Penny here in the playoffs, but it was Jonathan Taylor and Cooper Kupp.
Right? Yeah. No, you're right. Sometimes it's that simple.
Would you say, I think Kamara was analogous. Kamara was to Taylor as Jefferson was to Kupp on this slate. Is that your take?
Yeah.
On it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a fair take.
Kupp was like dollars per point. We had ETR did and DR had Justin Jefferson better. And we had Kamara for almost the same points per dollar. But I've been projecting Jonathan Taylor with like a 9.5% target share, which is like what his season average is, but it's not been what they've been doing with him at all, actually. Like if 4%,
the last 6 weeks has been bad.
Like 4% target share is maybe even a little bit better. So I don't know.
No. That it's really, I mean, one of the reasons why I didn't go to Jonathan Taylor is it's just like, man, he's just not catching the passes. And obviously he could go for 180 and 3. Like I thought that was squarely in the range, but
David, I can't your team without this swap.
That's what I'm saying. Davis, you were literally 20 points below the cash line. I don't know what you're saying of like, you didn't need to swap. You swapped against Tyler Lockett, who got 27 points, and you still are 10 points below the cash.
Sir, against Huntley teams. You were not listening to me. Which obviously I'm never doing. I never once in my life have gone through all my like $5 head-to-heads, been like, okay, I'll swap this one and not like I'll leave that for Leone. Like that's much more of like an accounting thing. Like Leone would like find joy in that and like running the Sims and being like, all right, I'm gonna swap in this head-to-head, but not in this one.
I fucking hate cash games. This is so fucking stupid.
It's just the thing is it's so time and mental energy intensive for something that is basically flipping a coin against a stranger. You know,
but at the end of the year, that 10% ROI, Pete, is so good.
Yeah, when you run it through 18 weeks of little Sklansky bucks, Pete, at the end you end up with a whole bunch of money. It's great.
The issue is it's 100% ROI for my opponents this week is what it appears to be.
Pete, but here's the thing. I bet you didn't think of this until right now. This is you giving back to your community. You can market this as giving back to the people who support the deposit kingdom.
2021 was a tough year for your people, and you just wanted to start 2022 with a little bit of gifting.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate, and it is a tax write-off. You know, just trying to get my DraftKings tax liability down real quick to start the year.
Well, you're starting out like you bought yourself like your first bink. You're going to be like, all right, I don't even have to we're all good.
Exactly. So no, it is nice to give back to the community, and I appreciate them watching and being so active and stuff. And like the least I could do is give them some soft action in a head-to-head.
Well, I just updated my spreadsheet with today's numbers, and after getting fairly smoked today, I'm down to a 6.84% ROI on
That's
the year
a
in
stable
cash.
coin, baby.
I mean, I would have just been better off buying a fucking cartoon picture of a cat.
Yeah, but
Davis, you gotta also include the crowns though.
Yeah.
The DJ reward.
It's true. That's true. And I even emailed the DK rep that I know and was like, this new crown system, I'm actually like going to be about 20,000 crowns short of the diamond tier. Like, can you guys just go ahead and bump me up? Like, I'm a good soldier for DraftKings, and they did.
Did they really?
I'm sure they love you saying that publicly too. Everyone's fired up there.
Davidson's going to open up a DraftKings account tomorrow and realize he got bumped back down.
Oh, well, buddy. So we got to take the victories where we can get them.
My DK rep is not going to be happy with me because we've been doing the rake free tournament, 400 man. It's been filling up. I asked him to do a rake free double up this week and it did not fill up. Nate, were you in my rake free double?
No, I didn't know there was a rake free double.
Come on, Nate, that was built for you.
I didn't know either.
I didn't, Pete. I didn't enter it. Normally, I do.
That's down my lane. I love finding those.
I know. Well, normally I threaten, so I keep it for like in the show notes and then Discord, and then if it doesn't fill, I threaten to take it to Twitter. But I was too distracted arguing with Leone about Donta Foreman, that I forgot to tweet it out.
Welcome to Cash Games, Pete.
Yeah. Wait, do you guys play like next week? Wild card round. Are you guys gonna play fucking Cash?
They fucking ruined it, man. They moved they moved one of the games to Monday, so it's only going to be 2-game slates and then a 1-game slate.
Yeah.
Wait, is divisional round going to be like that too? Or are they going to do a?
No, it's only wild card weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
Here,
I'll tell you it for me. I probably will play very little Cash Games.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be showdown bros from here.
It's going to be so next weekend. It is. I'll probably play Cash for the 3-gamer on Sunday. They'll probably get there. Well, I don't know.
Is Pittsburgh playing?
It's not. I don't see that yet. I don't think it's announced yet. But there's 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, and 1 game on Monday. But obviously the nuts was the 4-gamer on Sunday.
Yeah,
used to be nice.
That was fun.
It's tough. Are we going to do the Gillcast anymore, or is this it?
No, we should still do it, right?
Well, your guys' pre-Super Bowl show, that's a legendary episode. The Sammy IDP props.
Oh yeah. I've been grinding already. Like I'm ready.
We will definitely do the pre-Super Bowl show.
Did you guys see Jordan Brooks had 16 tackles today for Seattle with Bobby Wagner out?
No, Sammy, no one saw that.
Buddy.
Sammy, did you the one year when they had defensive players in Showdown? Did you get rich that year? Was that what you bought all your Bitcoin with?
No, I wish. Missed opportunity.
Peter, do you know that the only reason these 2 chuckleheads even bought crypto to begin with is because they're friends with me?
I mean,
and now Nate is like the biggest in our private chat. Nate is like the biggest BTC maxi in the world. Like Nate is basically Pierre Rochard.
I was gonna say, do you only eat steak?
Yes. Dude. You think you're joking, but like Nate is that guy.
No, Nate's into privacy coins, bro.
I do have some privacy coins, but yeah, I'm a carnivore. I'm full on.
Tell me what you think about NFTs, Nate.
I have some top shots, but
got Nate in the top shot.
That is the BTC maxi of NFTs right there.
Dude, the Top Shot haters are furious. It just continues to be. They just continue to build on top of the system.
A Tyler Hero that I listed like a year ago finally sold today.
Dude,
a rising star Tyler Hero.
Business is booming, buddy.
Business is booming. I haven't checked.
I need Zion Williamson to get unfat. So
Zion Williamson needs to get into Bitcoin and go on that carnivore diet.
Yeah.
Peter and I co-own a Zion, and I messaged him and Karain about listing it like 2 months ago, probably when it started to peak up again a little bit before it became clear that Zion was a fat load. And I bet the low ask on that from the time I messaged you, I bet it's down like $3,000. It's got to be. Pete, do you follow the NBA at all because of Top Shot now, or is it mostly an investment vehicle at this point?
It definitely hasn't been an investment vehicle.
Tax loss harvesting vehicle.
It's hard. I mean, maybe now that NFL's winding down, I'll pay a little bit more attention. I enjoy the playoffs, but yeah, I have like a completist kind of mindset sometimes, so I just don't have it in me. I think I would legit play NBA DFS if they had
No,
a single lock
no.
with no
you
late
wouldn't.
swap.
Dude,
No, you
if
wouldn't.
you think NFL cash games?
No, you didn't hear me. You didn't hear my caveat. If there wasn't late swap, if everyone had a universal lock,
it literally would be unplayable this year.
what do you mean?
It's like if you think COVID and stuff is bad in the NFL, it is like beyond unbelievable.
No,
like
I know it is, but everyone's lineup would lock at the exact same time.
But the amount of zeros you would lock in on a nightly basis.
you would take. FanDuel used to do this like 4 seasons ago. FanDuel did this, and you dropped
Everyone
your
got
lowest.
pissed off.
Everyone got pissed off, but you dropped your lowest score. So if you took a 0, it didn't matter.
But our family time went through the roof.
Our family
We were smelling the roses.
Well, Pete's buddy Aguiar. I wonder if he ever regrets that tweet. Probably not. He's too rich. He's too rich.
Aguiar's too rich. He doesn't care.
He's just eating.
Did I tell you I bumped into him when I was in New York?
Yeah, is he a fan of the show?
I don't think he was familiar with the show. I don't think
he
was familiar.
He didn't get the bit.
No, he was living life though, man. He was having a great time.
Well, I mean, do we want to get out of here? Are we good?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about our tournament lineups that Pete didn't play.
Oh, sure. I mean, I just went through mine. I played a 5% on Josh Allen. He didn't do shit. Stephon Diggs got like 17 points. He didn't do shit. My heart wasn't in it. As Pete said, my heart was not. It was cash game week.
How about this? Sammy meet Megan. Megan meet Sammy.
Hey, Megan. How you doing?
Jesus.
Do you want to hang out?
I mean, come on. Coming in so hot here. Jeez, we have guests on our channel.
Yeah, they don't know what we're about.
Hey, come on. This is how Sammy gets on all the alpha plays. This is how you ship the format.
That's how you play. That sounds like someone who's salty they didn't play Marvin Jones Jr.
Sorry, Megan. Sorry for the L this week.
Yeah, no, sorry about Allen Robinson, Megan.
That reminded me. I think people were posting in the chat last year. Cash game week was the Marvin Jones explosion game.
But we played LaVisca.
We played Visca, and didn't Marv go for like, wasn't it 45 or something?
I think
I probably played Marvin. I probably played Marvin, and you fools probably played Visca.
No, I think you lost in cash game week last year, Nate.
I actually won in cash game week last year.
Yeah, eight for 180 and 2 for Marvin Jones last year in cash game week.
Oh, buddy,
pull up the bankroll.
I didn't even think about that. Like,
but Pete LaVisca, do you remember he scored that bullshit touchdown?
Yes.
All
of his touchdowns are bullshit, but
it bounced off of someone's helmet and he caught it.
The ultimate
put it on my reel.
Is it 3 career touchdowns that he has, or is it fewer?
I think 3 sounds right because he's at 0 for the year.
Yeah.
No, he had 5 last year. Weirdly enough, 58 receptions last year, 58 this year, 0 touchdowns.
Oh, so it's kind of a DJ Moore situation.
Yeah.
He's going to be this year's Meikle, where he's so much cheaper than where he was last year that we talk ourselves into it. And then he burns us again. So
that goes then LaVisca will then be like 12th, 13th round this year.
Yeah.
And then he'll be 18th round next year. So in my experience, the move
is on the
is
Patterson trajectory.
I hope so. The move is to skip the 12th, 13th round when he gives you nothing. The move is to wait until next year, where I'm going to be able to take McCall Hardman in the 18th round every time on Underdog. Easy game.
Meikle Hardman in the 18th. I'm still sprinkling in a little Meikle in my playoff best balls. You know,
why wouldn't you?
If Marvin smashes every year in cash game week. Oh wait, best ball ends a week early, right?
Yeah.
Ah, damn.
It's a tough scene.
What are you going to do? I also played a Josh Allen stack. I don't want to talk about it. Screw it.
Yeah, Nate, what did we all do Josh Allen stacks? We all have loser Josh Allen?
No, I had a better loser. I had Jimmy Garoppolo, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle stack with Tyler Higbee bring back.
Ooh,
wow, so you're rich.
That's actually kind of sexy.
Garoppolo
Jennings in there, and you're good.
Well, I also
because Deebo threw one of the touchdowns, so he cucked his quarterback.
Yeah, and Kittle put up Snowflake 6.
Davis, do you have any
10 reception yards?
Davis, you want to offer an apology to Russell Gage? I remember some slanderous tweets about him this offseason.
Dude, Russell Gage has been.
Yo, dude, remember the week? Was it just me that played him in cash when he got 0 targets? It was just me, right?
It was just
and like since that point, he's been like wide receiver 4. I mean, it's just
so the thing about Russell Gage is Calvin Ridley's going to get traded or whatever. Russell Gage is going to be going like in like the 6th round of the underdog drafts next year, and I will just tell you all that you can enjoy that. I hope you guys have a great time.
No.
I mean, the 6th round of underdog next year is going to be like wide receiver 48. Sammy,
he'll be like the Jarvis Landry price this year.
Yep. And I'll have none of that.
Where's Calvin Ridley going to go?
Jets. Give him a big fat contract. He can go play with Zach Wilson.
He probably drops. He's probably like a 4th rounder, right?
No, I'm saying like team. Who's he playing for next year?
He's like 33 years old, so.
Calvin Ridley.
That's a RotoViz joke. Old, no one even understands that joke, but he is actually kind of old.
No, Calvin Ridley is just odd because he's so small. Like he's
super skinny.
Yeah, it's a weird archetype, like body archetype to be.
He is going to be 28 though.
That's insane. But nobody. I mean, no matter where he goes, like nobody will trust him not to dip out in the middle of the year anyway. So like his price will not be high.
Yeah, he will. He will be cheap. No. All right, who wins the Super Bowl, Sammy?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Terrible take.
Are you even happy that they made the playoffs? Does that even bring you joy?
No, I'm not. I mean, okay. The last vestiges of my like fandom did like I felt something in my gut when
as they were winning
in his last game had a drive in overtime and converting 4th downs against the arch rival Baltimore Ravens in their house to put the Steelers in the playoffs. Like I definitely did feel something emotional there. I'll be honest.
So he's gonna listen to a Mike Tomlin press conference as he goes to sleep tonight?
I can't wait. Yeah, I'm gonna inject it into my veins. Like
Nate, you really think it's the Bills over the Chiefs?
I do. I think the Bills D. I think the Bills like have actually figured something out. The way that they can just move the ball offensively, and I think their defense is strong enough. I think overall the Bills are the best team.
You guys, it's the Tennessee Titans probably.
It is not the freaking Tennessee Titans, Sammy.
There's no way.
David Kitchen is not.
Hear ye. Derrick Henry coming off the IR.
You know what's really super well coached, and their defensive line is a complete beast. Like, and they have home field.
Davis, you also know what's happening, and we're going to be talking about the FFPC playoff challenge coming up. But now that JT isn't available for the Boomers, I mean, Derrick Henry's going to be mega owned.
Oh, you love to see it. And we're just gonna rake in a 9 for 182 and 1 from AJ Brown in a Titans close playoff loss.
Yeah,
you love to see it.
I don't know. I kind of like the Packers. I think if I were to take a NFC team.
So it's going to be the Chiefs, guys. Like, what are we doing? Pending that Tyreek and Travis Kelce both got hurt on Saturday. So pending
the Chiefs are beat, bro.
What you all think? The Chiefs are like the Patriots, but if they had Patrick Mahomes, which is a pretty good team.
I'm surprised nobody said Cowboys. If it's not the Bills, I think
it's not the Cowboys. Let me put that on the record right now. They are going to go into Lambeau and get their asses whooped so bad it's going to be embarrassing for everyone involved.
No, if it's not the Bills, it's the Cowboys.
What if Zeke gets hurt and it's
Super Bowl favorites, immediate Super Bowl favorites? There, if you guys follow Cowboy stats, he does this.
I don't. I thought you meant in general, like the concept. Do you follow Cowboy stats?
No, it's actually a good Twitter account.
I do.
He has this thing. He tracks Zeke's negative EPA in the games that the Cowboys lose, and basically it's like almost universal that if Zeke just was on the sideline and wasn't given a single carry, the EPA would add up that the Cowboys should have won every game. Like it's just like because every Zeke play is like close to negative 0.5 EPA. It's that bad.
I believe it. Well, look forward to the drafts next year because he got his 1,000 yards. So he has that nice 1,000-yard looking stat. He's got 10 touchdowns. People are going to be like, "Hey, Zeke still gets it done."
John Daigle's already writing his content for next offseason. Pete, let's get out of here, bud.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys having me on the Gillcast, an annual tradition. Congratulations again. The better team won. You guys put out a great squad. And, I have a long time. I have 365 days to kind of reevaluate my cash game shell. I talked a lot about mental shell this week. I think my mental shell wasn't where it needed to be, guys. And, I got to work on that.
Well, our thoughts will be with you, and next year we don't have to play. Maybe we'll find another podcast to play against. Maybe there's like another entity out there. That way you can get in the group chat. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. I do. I mean, part of what made Cash Game Week so special
is the camaraderie,
and I do feel that I missed out on that, and that's on me, guys. I shouldn't have let that come between our group chat.
Well, it's been a big year for you, Pete. You've grown a lot. You made a lot of connections, influenced a lot of people, and I understand you're spread pretty thin these days. So yeah.
I should have gone into the group chat and influenced you guys to play Samaje Perine.
Might have worked on me.
That is a Davis play.
Yeah,
he went to the University of Oklahoma.
If you've never seen the video of Samaje Perine getting engaged, he used a magician to propose to his girlfriend. It's a very good video. I highly recommend it. I did those Derek Carty DMs, because I was DMing him because he came on my show on Friday, but to get like Sunday before lock DMs from Derek Carty asking me I was like, no,
it's because you entered into, dude, you were in the secret lineup group. Like Cardi's a part of the secret lineup group, so like it's a chain.
Yeah.
And you were in it this week, so of course Cardi would reach out to you.
You know what? Levy didn't reach out to me though. I think
Levy never reaches out. He never reaches out pre-lock. Levitan never reaches out pre-lock. If you get anything from Levitan, it comes through Wiggins.
Yeah, it's haven't made it into that circle of trust yet, and rightfully so.
They don't like bits. Those guys, they're too busy. They're too busy. Dude, they're too busy posting up Amon-Ra St. Brown player props to
no, this was all fair. Levitan became King GPP, bro, which is like literally my bit. So I can become the cash game king for a week. All is fair in love and war.
He said he hoped that you lost every cent.
Every penny.
And buddy, he got his wish.
The funny thing is he wrote that tweet as if he doesn't remember me doing this entire bit last year, doing the same exact
I'm sure he
thing.
doesn't. I guarantee he doesn't. I guarantee Levitan's awareness of your programming is such that he thought it was brand new.
This year he couldn't escape it. All right, land the plane, Davis.
All right, everyone, Gillcast, thanks for listening. We will maybe be back next week if we feel like it.